Hey, what is going on, everybody? In today's video, I want to talk about something kind of important and a bit of an issue for some people who are going to run into this patch, and it's the dilemma between Dr. Doom and Adam Warlock. Now, they are both incredibly important characters. Still, some might argue against Doom now, but he does have his role to play in this game. However, they both require the same superior G13 unique. Surprise, surprise. And so this presents a problem for people who are just getting to unlock Doom soon, or think they might in the near future, and may also unlock Adam Warlock. Albeit he does seem a bit more of a pay-to-win or pay-to-unlock legendary. I want to go over this anyways, because if you want a G14 or 15 both of these characters, then you may have a massive hill to climb with regards to the amount of uniques you're going to need for both of these. So the main part of this video is that I want to present arguments for and against both characters and what situation you might be in with regards to gearing one or the other, because I'm just going to assume that most players don't have 120 plus MIASMAAA lying around to do both the gear 15. And this is not even including if you touched Hela, you know, for Dark Dimension, or Kitty Pryde for Doom Raid or whatever in recent weeks and months, as they also use MIASMAAA. So buckle up, because this is going to be a bumpy ride, and one that I was hoping I didn't have to take. Let's get this started. Alright, and so this is my sort of messy roster here. I got a lot of hearts. I have way too many hearts characters. Anyways, let's talk about Dr. Doom. So I do have him at gear 15. I've had him for a little while now, and so he is maxed out all the way. But there are more and more people unlocking Doom every day. I heard that there's somewhere around 70 to 80 people unlocking Dr. Doom every single day, clearing Dark Dimension 4. So I think this is a very valid question to ask, and with the arena meta changing away from Black Order, away from Dr. Doom hybrids, and into Infinity Watch in the near future, we kind of have to ask these questions. Is Dr. Doom still worth it? And is Adam Warlock worth it? I mean, I think that might be a little bit obvious, but hey, there's going to be a few different camps of people depending on you know, where you're coming from, where you are at in the game, and you know what your expectations are to unlock Adam Warlock. And so I think that there's going to be a few here. I think there's going to be the situation like I'm in. I'm sort of at the top level, I suppose. So I'm the kind of person who already has Dr. Doom. I've already unlocked him, and I'm probably going to get Adam Warlock, although I'm not for sure. I think I will. But then there's the people who are just coming out to unlocking Dr. Doom, or already have him unlocked but don't have him maxed out, and they also think that they're going to get Adam Warlock. And so those are the people that are going to have to decide whether or not to put your MIASMAAA into Dr. Doom, or put the MIASMAAA into Adam Warlock, because like I said, I'm going to assume that people don't have a stack of 120 MIASMAAA lying around, and if you do, congratulations, you did a really good job hoarding these MIASMAAs for these characters. Then there's going to be the people who are going to be unlocking Doom soon, and they may be unlocking Adam Warlock again. So this is very similar to the last situation though, but really deciding, is it going to go to Dr. Doom? Is it going to go to Adam Warlock? And that's sort of what I'd like to answer today. So just on, you know, my own resources here, I can look at Kitty Pryde, because I haven't did I 13 her? I don't think I did. No, she's sitting at 12. So we can see here that I have 34 MIASMAAA. So this is just shy of tier 14 for Adam Warlock if he were to come out today. But I'm not there. I'm going to need an extra 27, because you need 61 all the way to G15. And I did G15 Hela, so I've spent my share of my MIASMAAA over the course of the last month or so, but I still have a long way to go. And you know, obviously, there is a few places you can get them. None are really all that reliable unless you want to spend a bunch of money. You can hope that it shows up in the supply store, because now there is a guaranteed superior unique slot there, but of course there's like 25 or 26 superior uniques, so it's still a pretty low chance. Now, so what I really want to talk about is where you're going to be using them. So, I say so far too often, I really need to get a better word. Anyways, let's talk about Dr. Doom to start before we talk about Adam Warlock. So we're jumping back to the screen again, of course. Where are you going to be using Dr. Doom? Well, I mean, you can still use them in the arena meta for now. It's I think too early to call whether or not Adam Warlock and Infinity Watch is going to completely obliterate the use of Doctor Doom. It's highly possible there might be some hybrid combination still of Doctor Doom and some other characters that might be able to beat Infinity Watch, just as there was for Black Order. They were not, Black Order was not foolproof. There were other combinations, but, you know, was a bit more difficult. So there is a chance that he'd still be valid. But where else are you going to be using him outside of Arena? Well, of course there's Alliance War, but I think that's a given, right? I don't really want to focus on Alliance War because that's not really the point here, because almost any character can be used in Alliance War. But what's important is raids. So he's very important to Doom Raid because he is a tech and a mystic character. I know I've kind of gone at length to talk about the issues of Doom Raid, but for the most part here, Doom is valid for 2 different lanes, which makes him valid for 40% of the Doom Raid, and I think that makes him really important there. So in terms of his overall use, his PvE aspect is still going to be there, and what I really want to point out is that as far as mystic characters are concerned, and I know Adam Warlock is a mystic as well, so you do need to keep this into consideration, but he is very important for that damage for tech. You could replace Doom with Ultron, but realistically, if you're getting Doom unlocked, I still think it's probably worth at least tier 14ing Doctor Doom. Tier 15 is not necessary unless you're using him in Dark Dimension 4. So for the purposes of Doom Raid, you could probably keep him at level 80, tier 14, and use him in the tech and mystic lanes, and I think that's fine. And so that would only mean that you'd only need 36 superior uniques. So that makes it a little bit easier if you are someone who thinks that you're in the running to unlock Adam Warlock. So aside from this, though, he doesn't have a lot of uses. Well, again, we'll have to wait and see, you know, how invalid he becomes in the presence of a full Infinity Watch team, including Adam Warlock. But I still want to say that despite all of the negative complaints, I guess, about Doom lately because of Kestrel making him invalid and all of this, he's still a very strong character. But yes, we have had a big power climb, power leap, whatever you want to call it, in recent patches, in recent months. And Doctor Doom is still worth gearing, I think, but you might want to kind of reconsider whether or not you're going to max him out, whether or not you're going to, you know, you're going to need at least level 4 ISOs if you're considering using him into Doom Raid. But in terms of all of the T4s, you may not want to do that anymore, and you'll need to maybe take a better look. And that's not what I'm here to talk about in this video, but more specifically where else you're going to use him and why you might want to consider him over Adam Warlock, or, you know, most likely if you're in the running for Adam Warlock, you're probably gonna prioritize him over Doctor Doom, I would imagine, and, you know, I'm not going to be able to say a whole lot there, but I do want to talk about Doctor Doom's use and why you might still want to build him if you are getting to the end of Dark Dimension 4, or even if you've unlocked him recently going for your second pass or whatever, and are a bit unsure about if you should do it or not. And I still think he is worth gearing. Maybe not to gear tier 15, because if you're not going to be using him in Arena anymore, come Infinity Watch, come Adam Warlock, then at least to tier 14, and he's still usable in that Doom Raid, which he was intended to use for. So let's jump on over and let's talk about Adam Warlock now. And so here's Adam Warlock. Obviously, I don't have him unlocked yet because he is not out, but this is him. He is a Cosmic Mystic support character. Now, he does have the same Mystic tag as Doctor Doom, but he is Cosmic, not Global, which Doctor Doom is, for what it's worth anyways, even though Adam Warlock is a legendary character. So in terms of Dark Dimension and stuff like that, if you were to use him there, it would not be in the same lane anyways, so that's not an issue there. But what is the issue, I guess, is the Mystic part, whether or not you would run, hypothetically, both Adam Warlock and Doctor Doom in the Mystic lane for Doom Raid, and I think that's what's important. And obviously, if the Infinity Watch comes to fruition, and it is as godly as people are suggesting it will be, that it's going to be the next Black Order 2.0, then I think that it's going to be really important that you get him geared up if you're in the running to get him unlocked, which obviously includes X Factor plus Jubilee, in case you guys are unaware. But yes, a very super powerful character, and it's going to be pretty nuts. So what I do want to look at, though, is where he's going to be competing, I think, or possibly competing, is going to be in that Mystic Doom Raid slot. So what I want to do actually here is I want to cycle my roster filter my roster through Mystic characters here, and this kind of gives you an idea of, also, I'd let you guys know what I'm running for my Doom Raid in the Mystic lane. And so at a bare minimum, I'm running Doom right now, obviously, Ebony Maw, Silver Surfer, Hela, And then there's a sort of extra slot here up for grabs. Originally, prior to Doom, I was actually running Loki. That is no longer possible, of course, because you would need level 4 ISOs, which I can no longer do. But that's what I was using in the past. So for now, it is Thanos, but I do think that, for me anyways, I will probably replace Thanos with Adam Warlock. Now, that's not 100% confirmed, but it really depends on what you have available to you. I don't think there's a whole lot of characters up for grabs in the Mystic Lane. It's actually kind of limited in that sense. There is obviously White Tiger and Moon Knight if you went really hard on Shadowland, but aside from that, these are kind of like the these are the bread and butter Mystic characters: Doom, Maw, Surfer, Hela, and then there's kind of one other slot there, in my opinion. You could run, obviously, if you're like me and you already have Doom up, you'll probably be running Doom and Adam Warlock. But if you're kind of think you're going to be moving into Doom Raid, but you're not sure what to do with your MIASMAAA, then I think it might depend on who else you have available. If you have Thanos available still and these other characters, then you can just slot Adam Warlock in, and that would be fine. And so for me, I think that this is going to be a bit of a struggle, because I'm not sure how good Adam Warlock is going to be standalone in the Mystic Lane. A lot of his kit, you know, he does prolong the duration of negative status effects by 1, excluding ability block and stun, and that sounds awesome. He does some bleed here, which my head's blocking in the way. His special also does ability block and some stuns, and ability block on villain protectors. I don't actually think there's a whole lot of villain protectors in the Mystic section of the Doom Raid, so I'm not sure how much use this will actually be, but there is Disrupted, I suppose, to all other enemy protectors. Again, I don't think there's very many protectors in general. I did actually go over it at one point before, and then his ultimate, you know, it does a primary target damage and stuns a second target and does some AoE damage, but he's not as, I think that Doom actually has the better kit for Doom Raid specifically, because you're not going to be using any of the other Infinity Watch characters, because none of the other ones are Mystic, and he only applies Safeguard to himself. He actually doesn't, he does this, lower damage by 10% for all enemies. That might be helpful, and that's outside of the Infinity Watch team. But aside from that, I don't know how useful he is to a broader 5-man team that's not Infinity Watch. So I think that actually Dr. Doom might inch it for me in Doom Raid anyways, because his time platform does a full 100% heal, not to mention it gives 3 full turns to the highest damage character as well, which normally for me is Silver Surfer typically, and he does a big explosion with his bots. You know, he does a lot for Doom Raid. So I wouldn't count Adam Warlock out quite yet, but it really does seem like Adam Warlock might be that arena meta character. Obviously, he will be, depending on where you're at in the game, he will be usable most likely in the Dark Dimension 4 Legendary Lane and also in Doom Raid, but I still think that Dr. Doom is going to be a very strong, solid character for this. So I guess the question is, if I had to choose, who would I do? And that really depends on what your sort of priorities are in the game. If you're going to be getting Adam Warlock, most likely you're going to want to go hard in the arena and therefore build up your Infinity Watch as high as you possibly can, because higher scores in the arena means more power cores, which means, you know, more power cores to open orbs like I do. You know, I'm the hoarder of cores typically. But on the other hand, if you're really trying to get some more progress in Doom Raid and helping your alliance out, then it might go over to Dr. Doom there, because I think not only does he cover 2 different lanes, both in the Tech and Mystic lane, then, you know, Adam Warlock doesn't do that. So, you know, I guess it depends if you're going to get him on the first pass or not. Adam Warlock, more of an arena character, possibly using these other game modes, and obviously Alliance War, but again, I'm not really talking because both of them have merits in Alliance War. But Doom, on the other hand, I think is the more PvE-friendly character, especially outside of, well, he has no team, but Adam Warlock will be outside of his team in Doom Raid. But I guess if you're still running an Ultimate 7.5, I think that Adam Warlock and the Infinity Watch team as a full team would actually do pretty well. You might already have Astonishing X-Men because you would have Jubilee, right, if you're unlocking Adam Warlock. So maybe that's a moot conversation, because you probably should just be using your Astonishing X-Men for that anyways if you're still in Ultimate 7. But so, I'm not, you know, there is no definitive answer here. Adam Warlock, if you're going strong in Arena, I don't think Dr. Doom is going to be that relevant in Arena or as much with the presence of Infinity Watch, but if you're in an Arena shard that is far out from Adam Warlock and not many people actually are having a chance at that, then Dr. Doom will still be worth building, and obviously for Doom Raid, I think he is the best candidate for that between the two of them as well. So I know that wasn't really the answer we were all looking for, but it just seems about what your priorities are in the game, whether it's for Arena, whether it's for Doom Raid, Dr. Doom for Doom Raid, Dr. Doom for PvE content, Adam Warlock for arena content, and maybe some other PvP stuff, and Infinity Watch, of course. But that's all I wanted to talk about today, guys. Just a very short video for you guys. What do you guys think? Are you guys in camp Adam Warlock? Are you in camp Dr. Doom? How many miasma do you guys have saved up? Because I sure do not have enough, clearly. I need to go buy more. Whenever I see it, I'm going to buy it. Make sure you do that in the stores, the regular supply store, the war store, wherever you can get miasma. Buy those miasma. That's the end of this video, guys. I'll catch you all next time. Until then, stay safe. I'll see y'all later. Boylan signing out.